you'll be receiving from a message full of God's power to help you become everything that God has created you to be. You know, God sent his son, Jesus, to die for you to have a life of abundance and for you to be an ambassador for him. What does that mean? That your life should represent his goodness. It's time to be about it. Tune in today's message and you'll be blessed.
Proverbs chapter 4, I'm going to start with verse 20. It says, my son, attend to my words. That means press to my words. Incline thy ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thy eyes. Meaning, don't peek away. Keep it in front of your eyes. Keep them in the midst of thy heart. Somebody say, keep it in your heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all of their flesh. I don't know about you, but particularly what our nation has been facing, you know, it's like the words of the Bible are just illuminating. When I see that word health, it just takes on a completely different meaning for me now. Verse 23 says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. This morning, the title of my message today is Normal. Normal. Stick with me. Now, verse 23, I want to break this down a little bit as we get into this. It says, keep thy heart with all diligence. Now, that word keep there actually means this. It means to guard. It means to protect. It means to maintain. And it means to preserve. I'm going to say that again for those of you taking notes. That word keep there means to guard, to protect, to maintain, to preserve. You know, some of us have, some people have these huge dogs. You know, my uncles on my mother's side of the family, they are heavy into dogs. And my grandfather, he trained dogs quite a lot. And I remember sometimes I'd be a little nervous going over his house because they'd have pit bulls, or, you know, my dad talks about having a German shepherd named Jaja. And, you know, some people get these huge, massive dogs. Why? To protect their homes, to protect their houses. And this is what he's talking about here. Some of us have alarms on our cars or locks on our doors and, you know, all of the above. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about mounting guard around your heart, meaning what you allow on the inside of you. Why is that so important? He said, not just to mount that guard. He said, do it diligently. Which means that it's not, you ever met somebody who, you know, their word is only good for about 15 minutes? You know, when they're emotional. You know, sometimes it's easy to do that in praise and worship, you know, to be singing, I love you, Jesus. Because you love that song, right? But then sometimes when we get outside of here and something has happened in your life, instead of singing, I love you, Jesus, sometimes we start saying, why, God, why? How did you let this happen to me? I go to your church. I did what you said. Why did you let this happen? Well, that's not diligence. He's talking about being diligent when the times are good and diligent when the times are bad. Meaning, in order for something to be diligent, it means it has to be a priority in your life. He's saying here, I need you to guard. Put some alarms, get you some guard dogs or something around your heart, and I need you to do it diligently. I need you to pay attention. The Bible talks about that Satan walks around seeking whom he may devour. Then he says, keep thy heart with all thy diligence, for out of your heart are the issues of life. You know, your choices are a result of however you've allowed your heart to be kept. Your actions are based on everything that you believe about yourself in your heart. Let me point this out to you. This word issues here means this: borders, goings, boundaries. So he's saying, I want you to mount guard over your heart. because, and I want you to do it diligently, because out of it, that process of guarding creates the boundaries that your life functions in. Meaning, there's a place like last night, our neighbors decided to have a wedding reception in the backyard. And in my neighborhood, we're not allowed to have fences. And so, it was loud. It was loud. And it was annoying, but it was loud. And one of the things I was watching, the back of our house, you can see our backyard. Now, even though there is no fence, it's very clear where our line of our property is, because we have two different people cut our lawn. So you can actually see where the line is. And plus, it just makes sense. And so, I'm going to be telling the truth. Me and my husband, we were annoyed. Like, how come you couldn't have that party in the middle of the day? I mean, it's 1, 2 in the morning, and they like, get your life. Okay, so, but I noticed, they had a tent right up on the border of their house, so that the party was going this way. It was almost kind of like they were going to block even our ability to see into the party. But I noticed a couple times that my feathers got a little ruffled, because there would be people, particularly there's this one guy, and I guess, how sometimes you go to a reception and you step out for a second? You step out, and maybe not y'all, hopefully not you all, but step out to get a smoke. So there was these people that were stepping out to get a smoke, but they were stepping out of the reception into my backyard. Hold up, wait a minute. Whatever you want to do in the boundaries of your backyard is your business. But what's coming over into my backyard, there is a boundary there. So he's talking about protecting your heart, because out of it is the boundaries that determine what you allow to function in your life on a day-to-day basis. Now, we're talking about normal. And here's the important thing here, is that Satan is doing everything he can to affect your normal. One of the greatest tools that he's using in this last day is he is trying to normalize sin. He's trying to make it so that you are so used to things that God did not create. There could be things that God specifically said in his word. But what he wants to do is make that lack, make that less than God, make that normal in your life so you accept it.
I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I want to invite you to subscribe, as well as visit our website at michelleferguson.org. We have some materials there that can help you as you walk through life, live the life that God created for you. As always, I'm Michelle Ferguson, helping you to discover, develop, and celebrate who God has created you to be. See you next time.